Tom has been accused of using the N-word multiple times in private conversations, including—
Oh my goodness! He's been accused of saying the N-word in private conversations! No!
Oh my god! It's a YouTube name! Oh, why is his name Turkey Tom? It's offensive to the people of Turkey. People in Turkey don't like it.
And also on top of that, just—
And also on top of that. Bro, if I ever make any kind of phrase or gesture like that, somebody please acquire my docs, drive to my house, drive the car.
Now, on to Wendigoon. Guys, I have an order to this, okay? Just to map this out, how we're gonna handle this tonight, just for you live viewers. I have a few tabs open. Yeah. Cue Matt Jarbo. Look at all those tabs! Yeah, I have a few tabs open. We have a place to go after this. We're going to be taking a brief intermission, and by intermission, that's when the content really starts. I'm going to be watching the Wendigoon section of this video. We're going to be watching the reactions, the threads, the Reddit posts. We're going to be going through all the Discord leaks, chat. We're going to be going through all that too. Before we get started, there's one thing I want to lead off with, okay? There's one thing that I want to say. A lot of you guys were watching this like a week or two ago. We were covering what I call the worst video of the year. I recommend you watch it. And I don't think that these are very different. I don't know where the ranking will lie, but as of now, I don't think this Noah Samson lookalike video is the worst video of the year. King of Nothing has that one, okay? We covered this on the channel 4 weeks ago now. King of Nothing video. Absolutely terrible video of misinformation spread about Ethan Klein. And as you're going to find out with the Wendigoon guy, there are many parallels here, okay? Both of these people are running around privately telling everybody that all their points are real. Both of these people are taking a month off of YouTube so they don't have to deal with the criticism, okay? Both of these guys are not going public to defend their talking points. They're hiding on Discord, okay? And both of these people put out defamatory videos on one or more parties. The only difference here is that, well, there's two differences actually. I was notified of the second one. The Noah Samson lookalike guy who made a video on Wendigoon had like the decency to take his defamatory video down. Now, I don't know if we should give that to him as like a, it was obviously getting obliterated. I don't know how long he was going to keep it up. But the other difference is that people like Wendigoon. The only reason that people aren't as up in arms about the King of Nothing guy who made absolutely equal deranged fucking arguments throughout the course of what, like 3 hours or something? Or was it an hour or 3 hours? I think it was over 2. Complete wrong information to the point of like it has to be malicious. I believe it's malicious, okay? Yeah, well, the only reason that that video is held to a different standard is because the guy who made that one was smart enough to pick a target that people didn't like, so he got to fly under the radar. But the Wendigoon guy, he gets all the criticism. So I just wanted to point that out from the very beginning. I hold these people at the same regard before we even get started. In fact, I don't think this section is as bad as the King of Nothing video. Anyways, without further ado, this is what we're dealing with,
if you're
chat.
not aware.
Is that not Noah Samson? Is that not the guy who got banned from Twitter for calling Chud Logic a pedophile? Come on, chat. Is that not Noah Samson? Hold on. Let me pull this thing up. I was calling this guy Noah Samson, and people were like, Nicholas.
Noah Samson's
the guy who solved the debate
acknowledges
problem.
the utility. Okay.
Oh, that's so good.
All right. Staff wants you to tell me the difference between these two pictures. That's the same guy. You just stretched him a little to the left. Right? That's the same fucking guy. Both of these guys saw Hassan Piker and said, well, I'm going to go for the top half. Like, it's the same fucking guy. All these guys are like, let me go Google a picture of what, not Karl Marx, Joseph Stalin looked like when he was a kid. And then I'm going to try to cop that whole flow and still kind of fuck it up.
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those fucking crypto fascist dudes too?
There. They're like, whoa, dude, let me get the big, thick Castro mustache on the Hassan Piker hair. That's the play. The big Castro mustache on the Hassan Piker hair.
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those fucking crypto fascist dudes too?
By the way, the assumption is the Hassan Piker hair is the Joseph Stalin hair. I figured that you guys knew that already, but All of these
Isn't
people
this
are the
Nicholas
same.
DeOrio
All
guy,
these
like, one of those
breadtuber,
fucking crypto fascist.
like, I
dudes,
mean,
too?
their content doesn't just look the same; they look the same. Okay, that's what we're dealing with here, chat. Anyways, new season of Fortnite, based epic memeable video. Let's fucking get started. Let's go, boys. Whoop.
Wendigoon is a horror conspiracy theorist YouTuber with several million subscribers that, as you will hopefully
Wait,
come
why
to
am I a
see,
woman?
should not be
Hold on, stop. Stop. Why am I a woman? Why am I a woman? I did not pick to play as a woman. Wait, I'm sorry. So I know there's 2,000 people watching right now, but stop the stream. Okay, I'm Rick. We're good.
seen as the whole as a publicity move to get people to talk about his lackluster films. Because when they later released it, it gave them the opportunity to then advertise it as the most talked about movie of the year, as one nobody's seen yet.
Oh,
and then
God.
when you watch the
I hate doing this. Fuck. I have to like weasel it back over. Jesus, that was one. Okay, so I cannot hit the left button.
with several million subscribers, that
Oh man, this is what happens when YouTubers delete on me, bro. Do not delete.
if you're not aware, Wendigoon is a horror conspiracy
Guys, listen, if you're ever feeling sad, remember not to delete, because it makes it much harder to archive you.
theorist YouTuber with several million subscribers that, as you will hopefully come to see, should not be seen as the wholesome, southern, friendly dad persona that he has publicly constructed around
Alright, so as far as I know, Wendigoon is the southern fucking, I don't know, like, friendly fucking whatever the fuck he just said. I've spoken to Wendigoon a handful of times, interacted with him super briefly. We did a podcast once on Half Baked. Seemed like a normal dude. But disclaimer, I'm taking that with a grain of salt. I'm friends with Tom. Tom went to the guy's fucking wedding. Okay, so I don't know. I from what I've heard from everyone I'm around knows this guy personally, and they all say he's a pretty chill dude
himself in the past several years, and that, like many people who talk about being Christians as much as he does, has a dark past with deep ties to far-right extremism. On a base level, his work
Okay, so that's a big fucking... Again, I haven't seen this video yet, so far ties to right-wing extremism. Okay, let's get far-right ties. Good.
work has never been of personal interest to me. We share a similar focus on topics that we like to write about, but our similarities basically end there. I have no need or desire
So you have none of the qualities that make Wendigoon good, but you make similar content. Got it. Wendigoon is an alt-right Nazi-adjacent person. Source is Smaggle Daggle. That's a very trustworthy source.
to hear 5 hours of opinions on Blood Meridian from a 21-year-old millionaire who got famous around the age of 19.
Okay, this is going to be like a huge part of the video, and we do have to go back and watch this clip. This guy is like perpetually poor. Like he's like one bad YouTube one bad YouTube video away from being like, what does Chud call them?
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy like
a
one
bed
of those
blob?
crypto fascist?
This guy
dudes,
is
too?
one bad YouTube month away from being a fucking bed blob. That's where he's at, okay? This guy has a 400,000 sub YouTube channel. Apparently he makes $500 a month from ad revenue and $1,200 on Patreon. That is fucking crazy, dude. Just for I'm not trying to like flex numbers on him because my channel is way smaller. But like that's not like That's not good. That's not good. My channel's 35K on here. I think that's what I make in memberships. On my 35K YouTube channel, just to be clear. So that's that is not good. And this whole video, he kind of just cries about being poor subtly throughout the whole thing. Like he had like one whole section where he's like, I'm tired of being criticized on YouTube because I don't make any money, which is fantastic.
And I know that is probably the most boomer thing that
The dude lives in North Carolina, not the most expensive state. Yeah, but at some point, like, and I know, you're hearing this from Nick DeOrio, but that means it's real. You gotta stop being a lazy piece of shit. Okay, because when I didn't upload for 2 years, and I wasn't making any money, I had a job, Anissa. I had a job! I had a boss! I made wages, bro. I'm on a salary!
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those fucking crypto fascist dudes too?
I don't need to be here, motherfucker. I want to be here. Okay, this guy doesn't want to do his job. So you should probably get one instead of crying about
Isn't this Nicholas
millionaire
DeOrio guy, like, one of those
17-year-old.
fucking
By the way, thanks for the
crypto
membership.
fascist, dudes too.
I've ever said. Apologies for that. But I say that to argue that I really do think that there are some works that are really not intended to hit the right way until we are older. There are some works that
Can I say something to
fundamentally
you, Nick?
will
Wait,
not
what?
be
I really
understood
like
by
you.
you. If
Why?
you are wealthy and have always been upper class,
Oh God, you're not gonna understand the deep the deep discussion that we're having about this film. You're far too rich and well off for that. You're not poor like me who lives at the poverty line because I'm too fucking lazy to review movies on YouTube. God, your life's so hard, man. I don't know how you do it.
your entire life. And this may all sound condescending,
This guy, by the way, movie review channel and shit. That's what he does. He watches movies.
but that doesn't stop
I'm sure he watches movies offline. He's just too fucking lazy to get on and talk about them in this stupid, condescending, fucking bisexual lighting voice he has.
it from being somewhat true. I don't mean that to think that you shouldn't be able to say or publish whatever you like at any point in your life. You're obviously free to do so. And I also don't want it to be seen as if I'm talking down to young people, because I'm not. Politically, they are frequently the most with it, and their voices should be
Young people are politically the most with it. Nice.
heard on issues that pertain to them. They are looked down upon too often in our culture. What I'm
Yeah, dude. I need more. Dude, where's the fucking tweet? You guys know the viral tweet that's like, the worst part about Twitter is I'm in danger of seeing a 14-year-old's opinion at any given moment, or something like that? Like, no, fuck you. I don't want to hear anything you guys have to say, ever.
talking about here pertains to the very act of writing itself. And
Bisexual lighting, LMAO. I think that honestly the YouTube drama subreddit is blinded by the bisexual lighting. I think that's what's causing them to miss out on literally all of the arguments and be wrong all the time. They're blinded by the bisexual lighting.
with that perspective. And I don't know if you can actually really truly be a good cultural critic with a voice that has a definitive perspective.
Oh my god. Dude, you make way too much money to be a critic. I'm sorry. You've lost your rights. I'm stripping you.
Without several years of genuine, independent, lived experience away from the home that you were raised in. And in his case, he became exceptionally wealthy by the time that he was 19 or 20. And so if you leave the home...
And that's why he hates the Jew. Oh wait, no, I forgot. That's in right now. Never mind. The socially correct people on Twitter are the ones bashing Jews. My mistake. Sorry.
and immediately become famous and rich, without having to ever actually truly struggle.
I forgot which week it is. We're on the do not like Jews week for the left.
Can you be considered to have ever actually had lived experience at all that would qualify you to give criticism on works of art about the experience of average and poor people? I would argue not. And if that is the case, why would your perspective matter as a critic? Not to mention the fact that Wendigoon was raised in a very wealthy family, and with that,
Dude, he was just fucking celebrating Palestine before it was cool, dude. Come on. Are you really gonna get on him for this stuff, dude? He was just a huge fucking Hamas supporter, bro.
comes from a wealthy perspective. He himself has inadvertently admitted that his family at
Come on, bro. You love Hamas. You're gonna criticize him?
one point had millions of dollars.
Isn't this
when he
Nicholas
said
DeOrio
once
guy,
on
like,
stream,
one of those fucking
would you believe
crypto
me that when my
fascist,
dad was
dudes,
young,
too?
he used to be in an organized crime gang and is now a Sunday school teacher. Very wild life that guy's lived. He was in an organized crime gang that my grandfather ran. A lot of bad things
Isn't this
went down.
Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those fucking crypto fascist dudes too?
Wait, why is he outing his dad like this, bro?
They got investigated by the FBI. My grandpa went to jail. My dad had to testify and tried to take up the business. The business fell apart, and he ended up losing millions of dollars to the state. Lost everything, found God, became a Christian, and is now both the best man and the best Christian I've ever met. But also, I'm not even here to criticize his body of work.
Wait, I'm sorry. Was that just the point that his dad's a criminal? End phrase? Like, that's it? By the way, his dad's a criminal. Moving on.
I think his videos are very
I figured there was going to be like a point there eventually.
uninteresting. But ultimately, that
Dude, the guy's just like, his dad is literally a criminal. But when I criticized his content, like, wait, what? Whoa! I thought there was going to be like some overarching point.
is secondary to what makes him worth talking about. The first of which are the very strong beliefs that he seems to hold as important, that are in my opinion the antithesis of what horror should be about. There are many things
Alright, I didn't get here because we didn't watch the beginning half of this video, obviously, before we started, but I do have a question. Why does a video on bad horror movies need a section dedicated to criticizing a YouTuber? Look, I understand it. I get the hustle. I'm a drama channel. But I wouldn't put a drama section in my 13 Reasons Why review that I posted to YouTube. You know? I don't really get it. I'm not really understanding why this horror movie review video needed a drama section. I feel like it would just be easier and more lucrative. Like he'd just be collecting his $700 or whatever his videos make.
That are red flags that we could talk about, from the bizarre gun ownership, the
bizarre gun ownership. Okay, so this guy doesn't like guns. Cool.
Use from my perspective of his religion as a shield from criticism, to the belief that he
Nicholas
at one
DeOrio guy like one of those fucking crypto fascist dudes too.
After this stream, I will be.
point followed many far-right accounts on Twitter from Kyle Rittenhouse.
Many far-right okay, we're still not over Kyle Rittenhouse. We're still not over that he didn't murder somebody. We're still purity testing over fucking Kyle Rittenhouse. It's like actually insane.
Rittenhouse to Parler, the social media website where the January 6th insurrection was in part planned. People said, oh, he only followed them. But that doesn't mean that he agrees with them. But
you know where you went wrong, Wendigoon? Hold on, buddy. I know where you went wrong. Because this guy has some real arguments here. You forgot to say that follow does not equal... what's the fucking thing that all these idiots put in their bio? A follow does not equal endorsement. Dude, that would have saved you so much trouble if you just wrote follow doesn't equal endorsement.
there are screenshots of tweets that may have been deleted. They clearly, in my mind, show a support to Rittenhouse. Although, since I did not...
Yeah, that is correct. I do support, like, fucking self-defense kills. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Sue me.
...take these screenshots. They do have to be taken with...
Wait, it's just him being happy that Rittenhouse was not guilty because, again, it was a self-defense scenario. Is this how bad it got? This is how bad it gets now, chat. Having the correct take in a drama people don't like is cancelable. Oh, I don't like that this happened. I mean, he's right, but he's a Nazi for it. Only Nazis like the American government and the court system would do that.
...with a grain of salt. But in relation to everything else that we're going to talk about here...
How are you in chat? Aren't you live?
To me, it seems to fall in line with his general beliefs. These have been widespread across the internet, and to my knowledge, I can find no examples of him directly saying that these are not real. So...
Okay, so none of that was bad, though. None of that was needing, like, he didn't need to address any of it. Maybe the stuff about his dad, but again, like, the source is him, so I don't know.
He may or may not have actually followed these accounts or supported them.
Oh, you don't even know if he fucking followed these accounts?
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those
I'm so fucking
crypto
you
fascist
so
dudes
not only
too?
is this not an argument, you also don't even know if your argument's real. Awesome.
But I do not believe that he has ever outright said that this did not happen.
Oh, okay. Well, innocent people don't stay silent for too long.
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those fucking crypto fascist dudes
we are
too?
off to the races here, dude. I still stand by what I said. This video is better than King of Nothing's Ethan video.
So take that as you will.
I will take that as I will, sir. Thank you for your permission.
We could talk about his past and supposedly being a founding member in an online conspiracy theory group. That...
What? What? A founding member of a conspiracy theory group. Okay.
According to him...
I'm interested.
Snowballed out of control into being a white supremacist neo-Nazi...
According to him. Okay, so he must have addressed this at some point.
...organization called the Boogaloo Boys. His own...
Alright. Have you ever heard... Alright, maybe this is just me, chat. Have you ever heard someone... like, not heard, because these people don't speak. They don't leave their house. Have you ever seen someone type the Boogaloo Boys, like, unironically? Have you ever seen those people ever give, like, an intelligent take about anything? What are the Boogaloo Boys? What is that? Like, I just assume that's something retards write on Twitter. What the fuck is the Boogaloo Boys?
Username...
What a terrible name.
...at the time was...
Nick, look at Bo Black's chat. Smaggle W. Nick, check my Twitter. Anissa Meltdown. Oh god, you're gonna make this so hard to clear out. I'm gonna have to edit. You're gonna make me edit? Dude, I do not make $700 a month, bro. Back to the Boogaloo Boys.
have started
You know, Ian used to be a Boogaloo boy.
using it, but that he left the group and became Wendigoon after things started to get out of hand. And this is not a conspiracy theory in itself. Shockingly, he literally has said so in writing. As you'll see, he was just like, oh geez, sorry guys, about starting a violent hate group, guys. Sorry that people got killed. I totally didn't mean to do all that. My bad. I'll do better next time. Also, it should be noted that the Boogaloo boys are known for wearing Hawaiian shirts.
How long is this video? Long. Boys, long. Whew.
And guess who else always has on a Hawaiian
Dude, who are the Beluga boys? I don't know, bro.
shirt, despite the fact that he publicly totally does not share in their beliefs, guys. I'm just saying that if at the very least I, in any way whatsoever, somehow accidentally, inadvertently, started a hate group, I wouldn't continue to still dress like them if it were me.
Dress like them? Wear Hawaiian shirts? Wait. Alright, there's no way. There's no way. You have to have some self-awareness that, like, I would not wear... What? You know that you're also wearing a similar shirt, right? Like, obviously he doesn't mean that shirt, right? Because... Okay.
It would make me look like I still
Is he a
believed in their
Boogaloo boy?
cause, and that I just couldn't talk about it because people would publicly get mad at me. If I accidentally started a hate
Jesus, this is such a swing and a miss.
terrorist organization, I wouldn't rebrand as a horror YouTuber the next year, and instead
Wait, rebrand as a... Are you supposed to... What?
would try and fight that ideology as much as I could. And if I didn't do that, then it would probably be fair for people to assume that I still agreed with their actions. At one point, he posted on his subreddit and wrote, "Someone asked me about my old Boogaloo boy persona, so I made my response and thought I'd share it to set the record straight." Again,
Okay, so he's responded to this.
I hate being political, but I wanted to clear this up. Love y'all, thanks. The statement that he included with this read, "Alright, so I'll go ahead and make my official statement here, because better to come straight from me. Over 2 years ago, I was among the first to begin using the term Boogaloo. Originally, it was a rendition of Che Guevara's, not that he was a good person by any means, code word for revolution, and I have always been a proponent of freedom and liberty. I believe in the divine rights of every human, and therefore, aspects of self-independence are important to me. So I began using the word in small settings, and then decided to make a meme page using the name as
So is this like alt-right? When like random people like Tommy would say that they're alt-right, and then like Richard Spencer came out, but because alt-right used to mean like...
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy?
God,
like one of
I'm
those
really
fucking
dating myself here because I'm not.
dudes,
This is
dude?
not something that I was around for at the time. But everyone was like, "Yeah, I'm all right. Oh, I'm alt-right. Yeah." And then all of a sudden, alt-right literally just meant like fucking Nazi at that point. Like no normal person called themselves alt-right. But that was like a relatively... Nick ignores puppy? Yes, dude. I owned them with my owning them.
no one had yet done so. To give you an idea, my name was Boogaloo Boy, and several have pointed to me as being the original and started the Hawaiian shirt thing, as I've always just worn the
Wait, so it is Hawaiian shirts. Okay.
shirts. However, as the term became mainstream, more ideas began to come into the group. Everything from Antifa members to fascists wanted in on it, and the original idea became muddled and broken. I always meant it as a for the people thing, yet it quickly became something else. To give you an idea, I watched the same news station call it a far leftist movement and a far right movement in the same day. It became something I didn't want to be a part of, and so I left. I dropped the name,
I'm so. Is there something wrong with this?
took a break, and decided to talk about things I enjoyed like conspiracies and movies, under the new title, Wendigoon. It was something I acknowledge, but am not a part of anymore for what it became. Some of my current followers and friends were with me then, but I'm not a part of that anymore. So
wait, hold on. So somebody was involved with like a name that ultimately would go on to become a hate group, and he stopped associating with that group publicly, and that's a bad thing. Is that the problem?
you remember when armed men were arrested a few years ago for planning the kidnapping of Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmire? That was the Boogaloos. Do you remember when white people showed up at the George Floyd protests?
Did Wendigoon show up at the George Floyd protests?
and caused property damage and violence in the hopes that black people would be blamed for that. That was the
What about the people who actually caused violence during the George Floyd riots and stole shoes from Nike stores? Were those white people too? Like, I'm pretty sure there was just rioting. Okay.
Boogaloo's. A great deal of their members were spotted in the Capitol during the January 6th insurrection. In 2020, they killed several police officers in a drive-by shooting in Oakland,
Wendigoon killed several police officers in a drive-by shooting?
hoping that black
Why are people defending this guy?
people would be blamed for the violence,
He wanted black people to get blamed for a shooting?
in an attempt to create racial tension. The reason they use the word boogaloo is in reference to a meme that says Civil War II Electric Boogaloo, obviously in reference to the 1984 film Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. Okay, so let's take a closer look at some of the phrasing of his official statement. First off, I have tried and failed to find any connection to the word boogaloo to Che Guevara. In fact, when you Google Che Guevara boogaloo, you just get things related to Wendigoon. When you type in Che Guevara word for revolution,
Think of Yo Mama's justification for Keem being alt-right. Yeah, this is very similar to that.
you get things related to Wendigoon. Che Guevara died in 1967, and the earliest example of the word boogaloo that I can find was in 1966, in relation to the musical style. So I would wager that that is more than likely a lie, to cover his actual intentions and sympathies that he held as a seemingly radicalized teenager. According to the Center for Strategic and International Studies,
It's like, I don't get it. Let's say that he was the super secret Nazi guy who made, like, let's say he was. Do you want him to, like, make his content like that? Like, I don't get, like, let's say he was, like, actually, like, some fucking guy who wanted all black people to get, like, arrested for, like, crimes they didn't commit. Are you mad that he doesn't perpetuate that belief and, like, use it to go and, like, are you mad that he's not Nick Fuentes? Like, he's just not spreading racist beliefs?
the word boogaloo began to appear in online forums related to hate content on 4chan somewhere between 2010 and 2012, when, Wendigoon would have been about 10 to 12 years old.
It's like, hey, I've made huge assumptions about you and the content that you make and the things that you like and the stuff you believe in. And, like, fuck you for pretending that you're this wholesome YouTuber, when in reality, like, it doesn't make any sense.
Specifically, I have seen multiple times that it is believed to have been born on gun-related forums. I can find no evidence that within their organizational structure, that they have any allusion to their values starting or being connected to Che Guevara in any capacity. So claiming he was the first to start using it, or among the first, is not true, and is frankly a bizarre claim to make. By the time he would have made his—
Wait, hold on. So he's not the first to start using it. Then, like, so then he didn't even start it then, right?
Boogaloo Boy username, the word would have already had a near decade of being entrenched into the deepest layers of alt-right internet radicalized extreme racism. He wants to simultaneously be seen as distant from the organization, but still dresses like them on a daily basis, and fully
In
takes
Hawaiian
responsibility
shirts?
in claiming that he started their movement, that was already in motion at least 7 or so years before his involvement, which to me just kinda seems like he enjoys taking the credit for that. As historically, he already had an out that he was in middle school when it truly actually began. And if he's lying about these things, it just makes me wonder, what else is he lying about? And
Dude, I gotta be honest. I fucking hate people like this. It's not like oh, hee lol, I don't like this guy. Holy shit, dude. This is like subhuman behavior. I don't know how these people breed. I do not, I have no idea how these people, I mean, they obviously don't function in society. This is like, what I'm watching right now is like the incarnate of the schizos who are accusing Mutahar's wife of being a Nazi and Mutahar of being a Aryan Indian. Like, I can't get mad at them because they're just random retards on Reddit. And if you talk too much about them, they cry and say you're dogpiling a fucking non-content creator or something. But I can take that out on this guy because holy fuck, dude, he's literally a subreddit come to life.
The difficulty in seeing the lies and between the things
So I'm going to thoroughly enjoy making fun of this guy for the next 3 hours.
that are true is always the point with these kinds of people, who say, for instance, that they do not believe in far-right hate, while doing something else at the same time, such as wearing a distinctly
That particular post was a gay op, sorry to say. Do you think there's one post? Do you think there was one post saying that Mutahar is a fucking, like, an Aryan Nazi? There was one post yesterday. There have been posts about this constantly. If you think that one person went and made some stupid comments or something like that, no, they legitimately think this. You're wrong.
coded Hawaiian shirt that would be understood by the initiated. As Jared Thompson puts it, who works with the Transnational Threats Project that focuses on the evolution of digital terrorist networks, Boogaloo memes and slang are often deployed in similar formats, and using similar language to more mainstream internet discourse, creating a challenge in parsing the difference between complex inside jokes and memes that are used as a tool of Boogaloo extremism. Then Wendigoon would go on to say that the organization was corrupted by the left and the right equally, but I can find no evidence that the left ever tried to co-opt an organization that actively desires a race war within America. Just on the surface,
What does this
that
have
makes
to
no
do with
sense.
Wendigoon? We're so far separated from Wendigoon.
And on top of this, people who are centrist, or on the left, do not use the phrasing Antifa members. The only people who say that are the ones that see Antifa
What?
as some sort of homogenous radical left-wing activist group.
So does Antifa just not exist now?
As opposed to a general term for anti-fascist movements. He is
Who are the people who show up to all these events? What would you call them?
kind of telling on himself by saying Antifa members,
Oh my god, bro.
as if they are a part of an organized political militia, like many alt-right groups are, such as the Boogaloos. And
Wait, I'm sorry. Do you think that the average alt-righter is a fucking organized militia? Or do you think they're just retards who show up to fucking events? Yeah, I do think that there's, like, rallies and stuff like that. I don't think Antifa holds, like, retard rallies. Right? But, like, I mean, come on. You can't be a member of something because you're choosing to define the word differently than it's actually used.
saying that there was harm and violence perpetrated on both sides is the kind of language that other fascists, like Trump, say to disorient people into not seeing far-right extremism for what it is. He makes the bizarre false claim that he invented the use of the word boogaloo as a for-the-people kind of thing, and he doesn't believe in what that group did with his idealization of anti-government ideals, and also wants it to be very clear that he is not a political person. But to my ears, this is all conservative doublespeak.
Yeah, because you're retarded. Like, you're insane.
And I hope that this is becoming obvious to you as well. In my opinion, there is a regular pattern of behavior there, from supporting Rittenhouse to having multiple ties
From supporting a guy who didn't murder somebody, okay, to having guns and hanging out with, who's that, Turkey Tom? Okay.
to other far-right extremist figures. That I think a clear picture is painted that he does not mean this as a communist kind of thing,
What?
and seemingly more so means
If he did think of it as, like, would that make it better? Like,
people as a very select group. Wendigoon is very publicly
I guess they didn't kill the right people, or they killed the wrong ones,
friends
the commies.
with Turkey Tom. They have been seen together
Oh, yes! I love this, bro!
on multiple occasions, and I've seen online mentions that Tom was either at his wedding or at the very least was invited.
Yes!
Tom has been
I think I leaked that, yeah.
accused of using the N-word multiple times in private conversations,
Yes! He does that publicly, too.
including these screenshots of texts that
Based.
are alleged to be real.
Good.
And he's also been accused of saying that the upper
They're
tier
alleged to be real. You couldn't even do the research to find out they were real. That's insane. That's like one D'Angelo Wallace video worth of research.
of his Patreon were intended for Jews with deep pockets.
Yes.
Wendig-
When Turkey Tom was 16, he said his Patreon was for Jews with deep pockets. Yes. Honestly, I do think that Turkey Tom should be held accountable for when he said N-words eat chicken or something at like 15 years old.
Goon is publicly connected to the Internet Historian, and has even appeared in his videos. The Internet Historian publicly said that his birthday was April 20th. It is not, and has only said that as a joke because that is Hitler's birthday.
Oh, fuck, dude. Bro, why does Keffals help these kids get DIY hormones and shit? They could just suckle on this guy and get all the estrogen out of the room. Holy shit, dude. He said his birthday is April 20th. It is not. That is Hitler's birthday. Therefore, he is a Nazi. This guy is great, bro. This is awesome.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Donut Operator. And even
Donut Operator? The fuck is Donut Operator?
tweeted a photograph
What did he
of
do?
the two of them hugging. Donut Operator
Dude, I found him hugging on Twitter.
is a gun-crazed, very far
A gun-crazed, very far-right.
right YouTuber
What's his credentials?
with 4 million subscribers, whose career consists of him reviewing footage of police officers shooting and killing people. He was
Dude, I don't even know what this guy makes, and you could say that about. This guy is a horror YouTuber who reacts to movies where people butcher and maim others. This guy is a true crime channel, someone who makes money off of dead children and raped women. This guy is a drama channel, someone who makes money pushing people to suicide. Oh wait, he's making drama now. Never mind.
once a cop himself, before he made more money making YouTube videos and retired. His content is very pro-state, pro-cop, pro-gun, and pro-death to people who
I'm sorry, is just like pro-gun? Does that mean that you're an alt-righter now? Because you're like okay with guns?
don't share his
Is that the metric? This isn't like, oh, alt-right, left, fucking center. This is like anything to the left of me and my psychotic ideas is automatically alt-right, Nazi-adjacent behavior. Like, words don't mean anything now. You can literally just point anything to the left of where I stand is basically Hitler. I'm sorry, anything to the left of where I stand is Internet Historian's birthday, and you will not convince me otherwise.
beliefs propaganda. For example, one of his videos is titled Predator Takes Shotgun to the Face, and features a picture of him smiling in the corner of the thumbnail next
That's awesome.
to an image of a terrified man about to be executed by cops, with the text that reads, head removal.
Is he not? Wait, so did you forget that he was like a predator? Is he like talking about how? So a pedophile died, and we're supposed to like moral F over his fucking. If he is a pedophile, surely you know this guy's not a pedophile if you're getting really mad about this, right?
Hi everyone, Donut here. We got a couple of shootings for you today. The main shooting just warms my heart.
And you know, for someone who supposedly is so very anti-government, Wendigoon seems very comfortable with a man who makes his living worshipping violence committed by the state. He's a man of no conviction, claiming to be very
We're talking about a pedophile, right? Was that section about a pedophile?
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those fucking crypto fascist dudes too?
Dude, it's so much easier to criticize this guy for smiling in a video of a pedophile dying than to call out Keffals, who's giving drugs to children. Oh, sorry. Keffals, who's helping her audience buy illegal drugs online and showing them a content creator who can get them there. Nice.
against the government and for the rights
It's just so much easier to talk about this stuff than actually like self-police your own community. You have to make shit up instead.
of the people, while at the same time giving a warm embrace to one of the biggest fascist bootlickers on the internet. And the only thing
One of the biggest fascist bootlickers on the internet. Guy who reacts to pedophiles dying. Chat, hold on. If fascist means that you smile when you find out a pedophile dies, would you say that you are a fascist? One in the chat. One in the chat if you smile when pedos die. Fascist. Oh, man.
that one could reasonably gather from this picture of them hugging is that he too is a fascist bootlicker himself. He is
Dude, this guy sucks. Like, have you ever heard a person say the term fascist bootlicker and then, like, not immediately discount them as retarded? Ever? Like, I've never heard anyone use that. Like, even people who are critiquing the right. I've never heard someone who talks like this in such a smug voice actually make a good point. This reminds me of, like, at his worst Xander Hall. Like, at his, like, absolute worst point.
collaborated with Nick Crowley, who constantly makes money through the most morbid and shameful true crime content of
Oh, okay. Now we're going after true crime. I actually think that true crime is true crime is like one step down from drama. There's YouTube drama, and then there's making money. Like, there are people who do it tastefully, but the vast majority of them just make a bunch of money being like, God, everything's so fucking toxic. I'm gonna go talk about dead children and rape victims all day, in these unsolved cases, and make a bunch of money off of the backs of them. Like, you know who the real bad ones were? Holy shit. Who's that girl who died around here?
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those fucking crypto fascist dudes too?
Who's that girl who died from Blue Point? The RV girl. Hold on. RV girl. Death. Scandal. Oh, God. The girl from Blue Point who fucking died. Who was that? Gabby Petito, right? The Gabby Petito people were doing like it was more than true crime. It was like people posting leads to their audience and stuff like that, getting people's hopes up and like tying themselves monetarily to them finding this girl potentially alive too, or dead, and then it changed to finding the guy, the boyfriend, right? But there were also people doing tarot card readings, pretending that they like were speaking to Gabby and like her spirit and shit like that. And they were doing like daily content uploads on like finding this dead girl. I don't know. There is a genuine reason to critique some of these channels. There are true crime channels, and there are like ambulance chasers and real exploitative retards.
Showcasing the last minutes of people before they are suddenly and unexpectedly killed. Crowley is similar to Wendigoon, in that on the surface they seem fairly...
But like, I don't think that any of that stuff I just said makes him like a far-right grifter, or like any of the things he's being accused of here.
But clean enough. But then you notice that...
Isn't it funny that Keffel's literally left drama to become a true crime channel? That's so funny. I'm sure this guy would have nothing to say about that either.
He follows less than 200 people on Twitter, and among them are the same circle with names like Wendigoon, Plagued Moth, Turkey Tom, Mr. Ballin, and Donut Operator. Wendigoon has collaborated with Plagued Moth, a completely shameful content creator who reviewed snuff films on his Patreon before it was taken down.
Yeah, that guy sucks. But you know who also sucks? The fucking loser who spent the last 6 months exposing him. Honestly, I think that like, if there was a content ditch, I'd leave the both of them at the bottom of it. Like, if I could just take their YouTube channel, throw it in a ditch,
Isn't this Nicholas
it,
DeOrio guy like one of
both
those
guys?
crypto
And has been
fascist,
accused of showing
dudes, too?
genuine gore content to minors on Discord, and whose main YouTube channel consists of him reviewing censored videos of horrible acts of real-life violence and death. He is...
Yeah, Slime Beast. Fuck that guy. Holy shit, dude. If I could just delete that out of my search results or whatever, or like my recommended videos, and never see a Plague Moth or a Slime Beast video or a tweet ever again, it would be so awesome.
Publicly friends with Shoe on Head, who is a conservative
Oh, he disavowed Plague Moth, and that didn't make it in the video, I guess. That sucks. I'm sure this guy just missed it.
masquerading as a leftist, who is...
Ooh, base take on Shoe on Head. Person because she's like attractive, therefore she's like allowed to be basically the exact same person she was before, but now she hung out with Vosh, so she's been like, oh, she's allowed to be here, you know what I mean? She has the pass, I guess. That's actually kind of based.
Built a career off of lazy anti-woke content, complaining about...
Alright, I mean, those aren't the reasons I don't like Shoe on Head. I don't like her because she's fake now, but I don't know.
SJWs, who says stuff like...
I remember when she promoted Candid. That was funny.
Karl Marx rising from the grave, finding out his movement has been taken over by fat, ugly, mentally ill...
Oh, come on, you're gonna make me defend her now? I don't even like Shoe on Head, and she's right.
losers. He is friends with Brandon Buckingham,
Based.
a gun YouTuber who has been accused of threatening rape. He is friends with...
Bro, I know everyone who's seen this already knows what I'm about to say, but this guy unironically just used Sneeko as a source. Could you believe that? This guy, the moral effer over here, being like, oh, you've been photographed with fucking Turkey Tom that makes you a fascist, and he just sourced Sneeko. Oh my god, this guy sucks so much. It's literally just, I could be as bad faith as humanly possible, lie when given the opportunity, cite sources that I would call people Nazis if they even spoke about, or were seen in the same room together. Holy shit, dude. That's a fucking false allegation on Brandon levied by fucking Sneeko, one of the biggest degenerates online. That's insane that he just said that.
Oompoville, a gun-obsessed content creator that has taken advantage of Nikado Avocado's mental decline for fame and for...
You just didn't have anything on fucking Nikado Avocado. Oh, that's fantastic. His mental decline. Perfect, dude. You literally didn't have anything and you're like, fuck, I need to find a reason to hate this guy. Fantastic.
Money. And on top of that, has made content with the human trafficker, Andrew Tate.
Okay, there we go.
He is friends with Mutahar, who are...
Wait, then why did he say the other stuff if he was just gonna throw Tate in there? That makes no sense.
...against Andrew Tate being deplatformed from social media.
Okay, so he's leaving out all the negative things Mutahar has ever said about Andrew Tate. That's super fair and balanced.
Websites, and has recently showcased a great deal of transphobia in his most recent video.
That's so funny. A great deal of transphobia. Hey guys, I don't think that we should be giving unregulated drugs to kids, and I think that people who are allowing you to do that and like find sanctuary in their discords and promoting these sites that help children buy drugs, I think those people are bad. I also think it's scamming $100,000 from the trans community. That's a pretty bad act. Mutahar's been doing a lot of transphobia recently. I didn't know the trans experience was scamming your fans and fucking sending kids illegal drugs, but suddenly I know why people are so against it on Twitter if that's the case.
He has publicly interacted in a friendly way with...
The lived experience is to fucking push kids towards drugs. Nice.
The account rock solid on multiple occasions.
His words, not mine, of course.
And with just a quick look at their profile, I saw them liking anti-trans posts and neo-Nazi content.
Was Hitler autistic? No, he's stimming. Hold on, I have to stop playing my game for a second. Was Hitler autistic? No, he was stimming. Notice how you attacked the profile, but not the truth of the statement. Notice how they didn't use thousands of cases of Indian gang rape. I don't know what the fuck that is in reference to. Okay, cool. I like how it's just 3 tweets. Fucking 9 of them posted or whatever.
He interacts positively with Disclose.tv.
Okay, what?
A far-right propaganda website that uses hate speech. And
don't they follow me? Disclose TV. I think I've seen them before. Why do these people always know more about fucking far-right shit than the people that they talk about?
Engages in Holocaust denialism and platforms neo-Nazis. He has appeared in content with Mr. Guns and Gear, whose Twitter bio reads, dedicated to restoring the civil rights of Americans. But despite that, he's tweeted negatively about trans people many times.
Okay.
He has interacted
this is all, we're so far separated from the actual people.
Positively with Garay.
Like, do you remember, who is the retarded Keffel's defender? Like, I have to, I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep looping back to the other drama, but, like, this is insane. So, here's how people handle a situation when they have to criticize someone that's doing bad things in their audience. This is it. Look at this. This is the freak Maeve, the Keffel's dick sucker. Muda's entire video is going to be using Kiwi Farms as sources to do a guilt by association takedown of Keffel's, holding her responsible for everything. DIY HRT. Like, this is why no one likes these people. They have no standards on anything.
And Thumb, who has said, the traditional family should be encouraged and strengthened. I see little to no support from the government or big media. He has said anti-trans statements. He has called people degenerates, and has said that non-traditional sexual interactions are a disgusting, hedonistic lifestyle that is the breakdown of the family unit. Wendigoon is publicly friends with Brandon Herrera, who has made jokes that implied that he was sympathetic with public shooters who killed Leftist, and collaborated with Kyle Rittenhouse, who has posted images of himself with an MP40, which is a gun used by the Nazis.
God. A gun used by Nazis. A gun used by the Nazis. Wasn't it also like a super famous gun from one of those films? What was that fucking movie where they walk into the theater with MP40s? That was one of them. Obviously, like, Call of Duty is a thing. But, like, a gun that a Nazi once held.
That he described as the original ghetto
Dude, water, the beverage of Hitler's choice. Exactly, yeah. He went to the beach, somewhere Hitler was once photographed.
blaster. I've also seen people insinuate that Herrera was with Wendigoon in the days of being part of the Boogaloo movement, but I cannot find
Inglorious Bastards, yeah. When I think MP40, I think of Inglorious Bastards.
substantial proof on if this is true or not. But I've seen several comments saying this, so online it is at least culturally believed to be true. He has appeared in gun-related content with Haley Luan, an influencer whose content is based entirely around making the United States military appear fun and bizarrely sexually appealing.
Why is this his problem, and why is that bad? I don't get this. I don't understand. I don't speak retard.
Which again, for someone who is supposedly anti-government, he sure does seem to have a lot of wealthy white friends who actively work to uphold the values.
Wealthy? What do you mean wealthy white friends? Like, this is like all sounds like fucking jealousy because you're too lazy to make a video about fucking horror movies.
Of the American Empire. Or we could talk about the time that
And you just know this guy thought this was a slam dunk. You just know that he was watching this video being like, yeah, man, I have the easiest drama segment ever. In and out, fucking destroy this guy's career. I'm literally going to be H-bomb tomorrow, bro. I'm H-bomb too. And instead he ended up being as Noah Samson too. Double the false allegations of pedophilia. This time it was rape when he cited Sneeko against Brandon Buckingham.
Stole art to use in promotional material for his videos, and then blamed it on his editorial team instead of just
Watch the Hills Have Eyes video. Somebody told me that he defended cannibals because the family they robbed was rich or something like that, or like upper middle class. Is that true? Is that what did he do that? That's what I was told.
taking the responsibility. Then of course there is his username. To the Algonquin people, the Wendigo is a negative spiritual symbol that is to be avoided and whose name is to never even be said out loud or written down. So I know there's a bit of a hypocrisy there on my part, but we kind of do have to say it for academic purposes, so...
Yeah, that's why I say the word... oh, dude, my stream just cut out. Fuck. Alright, we're back, I think. Okay.
Apologies for that. Starting with Algernon Blackwood's horror short story called The Wendigo. People have for hundreds of years taken the creature and used it for their own means, including Wendigoon in his very name, which is something...
Yeah, Wendigoon is basically the N-word.
That indigenous...
It's basically... Is the stream back up? I don't know what keeps happening. Did the stream come back up?
People have been very critical with him now for years. This next thing that I'm trying to argue is not to discredit his feelings regarding to his own personal history.
That joke's gonna be a lot funnier when we're in the VOD section, because it's gonna sound like I actually said it.
What I will say is that Americans who are white or partially white in rural areas love to claim a
because after it renders, you're not gonna know if the stream was actually down.
Percentage of native heritage for bizarre conservative reasons, relating to, like, reverence for the land and fascistic nostalgia for a time that never existed and stuff like that. He has attempted to deflect from criticism over the use of the name by saying that his grandfather was Native American, and that he learned these things culturally through him. But I personally...
Bro, he's 3%.
...have to look at it from the hypothetical perspective, where...
I have to look at it from the hypothetical perspective. Dude, that's the new theory crafting right there. You know, I could say X, Y, and Z, but what if I looked at it braver through the hypothetical perspective? Dude, that literally just means I have no argument. I have no argument to make. Therefore, this is the reality.
I had a black or mixed grandfather in...
Guys, I'm gonna have to use speculation here. Hold on.
...this situation, and black people were telling me that I was doing something that was racist or offensive to them. I would then listen to what they were saying instead of claiming that I had the right to do it.
You would submit to the mob and get killed. That's what would happen. You would submit to the mob and get killed. Remember the Destiny Vosh debate? You would submit to the mob. Yeah, 100%. You would die.
Because I had some melanin in me. Especially if I were more or less raised within a primarily white cultural area, like the Appalachian Mountains are. And also on top of that, just, you know, frequently associated myself with white supremacists. There are 26 million people in this region, and well over 80% of them are white. with the majority of the others being Latinos. And if I had no
That is Latinx to you, sir, just to be clear. Everyone else is Latino. To you, it's Latinx.
cultural connection
You kind of look like a Latinx.
around me to that non-white percentage of my history, then what really would give me the right to dictate whether or not what I was doing was appropriate? I really would have no ground to stand on. The other thing that I would add to this is that Wendigoon and I are practically neighbors, and I know this area very well. Okay, so
Bro, right? He lives at 412 Olive Street. I literally, like, it would not surprise me if he just dropped his addy in the middle of the video.
I live in Asheville, North Carolina, and between
Isn't this
that and the
Nicholas DeOrio guy
reservation,
like one of those
you have the
fucking
community
crypto
of Lake
fascist,
Junaluska, which
dudes,
isn't
too?
actually even a real town. You can walk across the whole thing in a matter of minutes. You got Waynesville, you have Maggie Valley, and a few other
This guy's literally just like 5362 Wantabo apartment number 6.
small drive-by communities. And beyond that is the Cherokee Reservation. Wendigoon lives somewhere just on the other side of the reservation.
Oh my god, bro. He's like pinpointing him. This guy's gonna give the coordinates, dude. What the fuck is the relevance?
It is not me doxing him. He has said many times publicly
Okay.
that he lives in East Tennessee. And I'm not
Oh, okay, that makes it better. Yeah, he's down the block, 3 houses from the Cherokee Reservation, and he said he lived in East Tennessee, so don't come after me.
even saying what
Yeah, he really narrowed that down, asshole.
town he lives in. According to the latest census, there are only 23 black people who live in Maggie Valley.
Why do you only live in a place where there's 23 black people, racist? Why are you hiding from the blacks, dude? And you're wearing this fucking Hawaiian shirt, boogaloo boy.
There are 15 Native Americans despite it touching the reservation. Most of this area used to be sundown towns. It is about as white as you could possibly get. Deep Appalachia is very white country, and for the most part, is exceptionally racist. Genuinely in this part of the country, you have to
Dude, they fit right in with you.
assume that any white person you meet is racist unless they show you otherwise.
What the I mean, to be fair, that's probably how you were operating well before.
Almost all of these
came
little
to that
towns are
conclusion.
well over 90% white. But if you were to drive through Maggie Valley, you would find antique stores selling busts of
Dude, I go to this guy's house. Like, this guy turns off the videos, and you're like, hey, how do I get to go to... Hey, sir, how do I get to town? Hey, it's back the way you came. That's this guy when he turns off the camera.
Native American
Jesus.
braves, carved wooden eagles, vintage paintings of buffalo, super racist generalizations that idealize the idea of the noble, good kind of Native American. And then you'll drive onto the reservation, and it's just run down and poor as shit except for the casino. He has said that the Wendigoon name came from his culture.
Dude, this guy lives around the block from Wendigoon, and he sees him live in some big, nice house or something like that, and he's just like, that guy, bro.
Connection to native lore through his grandfather's side. But I can assure you that unless you were on
So this guy knows enough to know that his story is plausible, and he's like, fuck you, I don't care.
reservation itself, that actual native culture has no aspect in the general lives of the people around here, other than the racist trinkets that depict them. And as I said a moment ago, the Wendigo is
This is the guy who wants the Chicago Blackhawks to change their logo. Like, that's what we're dealing with here. We're like, dude, you gotta get that off, bro.
Algonquin, who are nowhere close to the vicinity of the Cherokee, who are in the southern Appalachia region, and throughout the lower
Why does he live there then? Because he only makes $700 a month on Patreon, bro. It's a hard life. We gotta live it.
sections of Middle America. The Algonquin people are Canadian, and a little bit Northern American. To insinuate that he can use the Wendigo name by citing local cultural native customs is completely absurd to a person who lives in the same general vicinity as he does. It is obvious that he just thought Wendigos were cool, and has come up with some seemingly strange backstory lie that is easily proven to not be true, unless, his grandfather is Algonquin and just moved to Tennessee. But if that were the case, I don't know why he wouldn't just come out and say that by now. And the reason why
He's like saying that this is the same as the Quartering saying he has 2 black gay dads. And it's like, this is such weird theory crafting of a point that doesn't even matter.
doesn't is because it isn't true. There's a lot of bizarre, religious-like mythologizing around his
I'm speculating here, but it is not true. Oh.
past that I particularly hate. Like it always being said that his interest in cryptids and horror began with oral folktales in Appalachia that are passed down and told to children. I assure you, as someone who lives near him and has for most of my life, This is total bullshit, and is some weird, false, cultural, imaginative idealization of the American South that is not actually true to the real Appalachian.
This guy's so weird. He's like the all-seeing
Isn't
eye.
this Nicholas DeOrio guy,
Anything
like,
that
one of those
happens in
fucking
East Tennessee, this guy is the arbiter. He's fully aware. He's locked in. Like he could see. He's the narrator of Wendigoon's town. That's how he knows all this information.
We aren't sitting around at night talking about the goddamn Mothman and shit. I even came from a poor family, and he didn't.
Oh my god, bro. And now we're back to him being poor. Holy fuck, dude. How much of this video is you just crying about not making any fucking money? Didn't you realize you could upload Tipster reacted to Lolly again? Part 52, and then buy a pinball machine? Seriously. Jesus, get your fucking life together, bro. Holy fuck. Make better content, bro. React to movies harder.
When I was a kid, I have seen people riding into towns on horseback. He admits to being raised by millionaires who got their money from crime. He just likes spooky stories, which is fine. So do I.
Which is fine, he says, crying and sobbing dramatically.
Obviously. But to come up with some weird folksy reason as to why he became a folklore YouTuber that somehow culminated with the destiny of local oral tradition is the kind of language
Oh god, this guy's sucking his own oral tradition right now. Holy fuck, dude. This is a circle jerk of one man.
that is used by members of a cult of personality.
You just know he was like, dude, I made the biggest banger ever. You guys aren't gonna believe it. You guys are gonna fucking love this.
As well claim that he was born on a fucking mountaintop. Nobody talks about it. But don't you think it is extremely weird and off-putting that all of his fans call him Dad? Isn't that really strange?
Yes, that is weird. I think anyone who refers to themselves as like Mama or Papa is probably weird. Alright? That's the first good talking point that I've heard in this whole video.
What follows is an exchange between two anonymous indigenous people about how they
Oh my god, bro. I interviewed a fucking Indian off the side of the road, and he thought it was really fucked up that somebody said that Wendigoon was appropriating his culture, dude. Take him out. Jesus Christ. This is like when Technicals went on the Vegas Strip and was like, do you think this guy's fat? That's the same value here in terms of content. Only this guy's acting like this is like an actual argument.
feel about him and his behaviors. I've been watching a YouTuber named Wendigoon for a long time, and I noticed that his username always made me feel weird. He often uses Wendigo imagery in his merch, and made it a part of his brand. He says that his grandfather is Cherokee, and taught him the legend, and I'm not going to make assumptions on if he is lying or not. But I feel really weird still.
He got an anonymous testimony from some random fucking dude off the side of the road. That's so funny, bro. That's so fucking funny. This whole thing is I'm theory crafting. I got an anonymous person to come forward to say that they're uncomfortable by Wendigoon's name. You couldn't put your fucking name behind that? You couldn't say like, hey, and then your screen name is like bothered by Wendigoon's
Isn't
thing?
This Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those
crazy.
It was really disrespectful to me to use that name. I'm not sure if I'm being a baby about it, or if there's something wrong here. He has also said some shit about cultural appropriation that put up some serious red flags for me.
Why was this person watching Wendigoon's content? Like, how did he get this far? People are like, damn, dude, I used to watch his spooky story time videos, and I found out he was friends with Tom, and I realized, oh my god, this guy's fucking Catholic. Why am I watching this guy? Like,
the Wendigo comes from the Algonquin people. I don't think Cherokees come from that group. Plus, he's presenting the white people concept of a Wendigo. You can call him out, but he has 3.5 million subs. His community will probably hunt you down before you ever get him to shut down. What follows is the
Get him to
guy, like
shut
one of those
down.
Crypto fascist dudes
This just goes to show how big he thinks this is, or how much this matters. If I called my fucking channel Muhammad, okay, I like you could suck my dick if you wanted me to change the name of it. All right.
Isn't this
that like
Nicholas
I don't
DeOrio
give a
guy, like,
fuck.
one of those
All right. I don't know
fucking
why anyone would
crypto-fascist,
care
dudes too?
about any of this shit, dude. This is like unironically trying to expose the Austin show for his name being Raj Patel and finding out it was a white guy who owned the channel. I think he's dumb as fuck for changing the name after he was that big, and he's like lucky he was able to salvage it.
That they were referring to about cultural appropriation, where a native person called out Wendigoon for his use of their spiritual symbol, to which he said to them,
Suck my dick! Yeah, based. No.
Actually going to make a video on this in order to make a direct response, but for now, cultural appropriation is a good way to alienate one group of people from the other. Whenever a society makes advancements in art and literature, and then another society gatekeeps others from interacting with it, it makes the creators seem inhuman and odd. The
Wait, why is this such a good answer? What the fuck?
easiest way to create prejudice is to convince others that a group of people should not be interacted with.
Wait, why is this actually like a really good answer?
I have spoken to several natives who love the concept, yet only those who have no value in its existence say I shouldn't talk about it, inciting an indoctrinated superiority.
God, the voice crack makes the video. Every voice crack is awesome.
Furthermore, when we stop talking about cultures, they die. This is especially applicable to Native Americans, who use spoken word to pass down their stories, and if we do not continue to speak their stories, their culture dies before we do. Lastly, I was raised in Appalachia, and my entire life has been filled with stories of the mountains, and creatures that lurk in the dark. My culture is as American as any, and I recognize the importance in keeping the fire alive. I in no way mean this to attack, or to be direct, just a simple reply. If we
That's the other thing that drives me nuts, is that like every time Wendigoon even speaks about any of this drama or is confronted about anything, he gives like the best answer I've ever seen each and every time. It's like, oh wow, this guy actually gives a fuck, like way more than I do. I would have just told this guy to go kick rocks. And then he gives like a well thought out and thorough response, and it's like, how the fuck could anybody hate this guy? It doesn't make any sense to me. He just gives the right answer every fucking time.
develop the idea that we can't speak of certain people, then we're no better than those who silence them. He's
I want
basically
to silence you. Holy shit, I want to take your mic away and shave your head. And that mustache.
using the I have a few black friends excuse to tell indigenous people to fuck off.
I don't think it's the I have a few black friends excuse. I think it's his grandfather told him stories as a kid, and it was ingrained in his culture. Unless you think when black people talk about it, it's because they have black friends. They're black. They can say it. I don't. Okay.
Did not bother him, so that he can continue without criticism to make a lot of money by selling plushies of a monster that was invented by a white British man that is ultimately making fun of their culture, as well as plastic figurines, posters, shirts, and other merchandise that depicts Wendigos. I don't know if he fully realizes the irony of being a rich and famous person taking a symbolic figure from a smaller native group of people that he is not connected to in any way. That is
Patrick Kane wore the Blackhawks logo for like 12 years. It's pretty notable. I don't know. Did he take their culture by wearing a fucking Native American on his fucking jersey? What are you talking about? Because his name is Wendigoon?
at least in part to them, originally used as a metaphor for colonialism. The reason that this comment is publicly still available is because Wendigoon archived it by posting a screenshot of it early in his channel's life to his Reddit page, as a clarification of his official position on why.
Hey, thank you so much, Drew. Thank you so much, and thank you, Stefan. I haven't gotten to donos yet. At the end of this segment, I'll read off donos, but that one is going to play. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Nick deserves more money than that guy. Bro, you just gave me 1/7 of his monthly revenue! Actually, more, because it's euros. Jesus, dude. This guy's sobbing that you just gave me that money.
He should be able to use the name, saying, "Hey everyone, so I hate getting..."
Dude, you're supposed to give that to the commies who are going to try to do like a revolution, bro.
Dudes too.
Dude, I'm not... You're giving the money to me. I'm not even going to put, like, Mao Zedong in office.
Political, but this keeps coming up.
It's an election year, Drew.
Showing this comment reply now, so my opinion...
Do you have monkeypox? No. Did your girlfriend use a strap-on and give you monkeypox? No. What?
I heard you're into some BDSM shit, so I'm just wondering if that's how you got it.
Why are you still here?
I love that clip.
Nick deserves more money than this guy.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This can be made known going forward. I've also blocked out the original commenter, and please do not show hate if you see it on the video. Also, I'm at 50k. I love you all so much. Also, I have received comments from natives who advise me—
Dude, and that's the other thing. Wendigoon goes and blocks out commenter names? Is that serious? Fuck me, I'll never do that. Fuck these people. I think if they write bad shit online, they have like they should have that shit seen.
Not to use the term Wendigo, as it is a bad omen and is dangerous. That is entirely different from not talking about a group of people altogether. They genuinely believe the legend and want me to be safe. They're cool. Thumbs up emoji. It has become a more common thing for people to call him out on his beliefs, his behaviors, and at the continued use of—
That's how I know this video is written predominantly from the YouTube drama subreddit, because it is not. This is like a very niche thing that's happening now.
the Wendigo in his name and the merchandise that he makes a lot of money off of. It became so much of a conversation that he even put out a statement trying to shut this down, saying, "Some rude and slanderous things have been said about my character, and I just want to clarify that I am not right-wing or bigoted or anything besides thankful for my—"
Dude, that's the best thing that a fucking closeted right-winger can say, is that he's not right-wing and alienate his audience. Like, he's literally coming out saying all the correct things that you'd say that, like, he's not, like, you'd say, oh, okay, he's not disavowing it. I am not right-wing or bigoted. Didn't he say earlier that he doesn't disavow any of this shit? He literally came out and said he's not right-wing. How could he be in favor of the shit the Boogaloo boys are into if he comes out on Twitter and says he's not even right-wing?
Opportunity to make goofy YouTube. The only thing I believe in is loving God and my wife. Donut operator. You know, the ex-cop who makes death content. The Wendigoon shared a picture of the two of them hugging not long after this. Can be found in the comments of this post asking if Wendigoon wants him to start killing people who said that he was right-wing.
You know the part that gets me about this? It's not that this is extremely autistic. It's not even that, like, this is an absurdly funny thing that he just said, and I'm responding to it in a somber way. It's the fact that if this guy was in power, he would execute us all. If this guy could have his ideal politics, I would be on my way to a rehabilitation camp in a fucking instant. It's that, like, if this guy could rule the world, we would have absolutely no voices. And it's just funny that he would say something like this. Because the reason why he looks at this and goes, Wendigoon, the ex-cop, wants to kill somebody, is because he knows if the fucking coin was flipped, he would 100% be down.
I think that this is an all-time bad public statement that says absolutely nothing substantial.
This is bad optics, because if I said it, it would be for the fucking regime.
And that's the point. I quote tweeted this and said,
this guy would send me to a labor camp. Who the fuck is he kidding? Which I probably could use the labor camp, let's be honest.
This once.
Then Anissa Jamha would say that I've worked a real job, like her time working as a pet store assistant or something.
But this is such a non-statement that doesn't even address any of the issues that folks are criticizing him for. Someone using their religion as a shield in the same breath.
To be honest, actually, I don't think this guy would never make it to a labor camp because he's too lazy to watch YouTube videos and review them. He would send us to, like, Guantanamo Bay, where we have to watch tipster videos for 6 hours at a time.
As claiming that they believe in nothing politically is a red flag. Oh, I'm just a goofy, wholesome boy. Please don't ask me why I follow less than 500 people and one of them was Kyle Rittenhouse.
Who cares? Like, I don't understand. What's wrong with Kyle Rittenhouse? Because he shot a guy that was gonna kill... okay, cool, nice.
Don't ask me about all the guns that I post pictures of.
Submit to the mob. That's all. That's the take. Submit to the mob.
Promise I have no strong beliefs. Apolitical, really. Why are you slandering me? I really only care about this because if you have that large of a platform and make your money from being a public persona, then you are no longer fully a private person, and your political beliefs do in fact matter and are a fair topic of debate. You can't get mad if people call you unquestionable things that are said or done if you are making money off of them. And what resulted from some good faith criticism of his use of language was days upon days of people calling me a faggot, amongst other...
Okay, Nick. Do the best you can. Whew. I'm not gonna say it.
Other things, but that was their go-to word. And to be honest, if you're a public figure who is being criticized publicly, and the only people who come to your defense are Nazis, then that can only be read as two ways. Either that you're sympathetic to their views, or that you're perfectly fine making money from it.
Listen, I am not sympathetic to their views, but sir, I've been watching 20 minutes of your video, and I am sympathetic to their opinion about you. Jesus Christ.
And are comfortable with that ideology being the backbone of your base. And this did go on for, like, at least a week, where every single time I said anything, my mentions were just filled with the most vile far-right rhetoric from Wendigoon fans. And if anyone ever criticized me, and people's reaction to it...
I wonder what his mentions look like now.
...was to immediately start using hate speech, I would shut that shit down...
No, you can't like what they said, because your politics are wrong!
...so fast.
True.
I think that most decent people who work online would do the exact same. And if they don't want to be seen as a big group of Nazis, then let's see how they react to this video's existence.
Statements that have aged not so very well. See, what Nick DeOrio was doing right there was quoting JonTron, who's a famous Nazi who was exposed by famous Nazi destiny.
Because I am certain they will be very level-headed about all of this. Right in the midst of this going on, a very funny thing
Isn't this
happened,
Nicholas
and that
DeOrio guy,
Wendigoon
like, one of those
followed me
fucking
on
crypto
Twitter. I was not
fascist,
following him at
dudes,
the
too?
time. He never publicly told people to stop calling me a friend. He never once reached out to me privately, but he did follow me, which means in my eyes that he 100% knew what was happening
Isn't this
because I
Nicholas
did
DeOrio
tweet
guy
about
like one of those fucking crypto fascist dudes too?
Does anyone even slightly shed a tear that this guy's getting shit on online? Like, at all? Like, even a little bit? I'm sorry, dude. I'm not sympathetic. My bad. It's not working on me.
about it several times, and then followed.
I think that you should be getting more shit, but it should be about your work and your bad video content instead of about traits that are obvious by your bisexual lighting. That's where I stand on it. I wish the people who are calling you a were saying like, oh, this guy makes the worst content ever, or oh, this guy's super bad faith, or oh, never watch this guy's content again. That would probably be better discourse, in my opinion. Yeah.
me to let me know that he knew, and that he was watching, and that he intended
Like, they could be doing so much more.
to do nothing to stop it. Why else would he follow me in that exact moment? He has never interacted with a single one of my posts. Not one like, not one comment. We are not friends. But he does follow me. He follows next to
I was caught off guard because he does follow me. Motherfucker sounds like John Scarce here, bro.
nobody on Twitter. What other motivation could he have had there to follow me in that specific moment, other than to be a method of quiet and deniable intimidation? What other way could that have been read from my perspective? If you think it was entirely coincidental, which he may argue it was, then I've got a sack of magic beans I'd like to sell to you. That was the moment that pushed me over the edge to make this video.
But the thing is, this whole video is magic beans. Like, this whole video is just like, I got a good feeling about this. This is exactly what happened.
There are other very public instances from him of transphobia and homophobia. Like when he allegedly said,
Oh, no.
calling Chris Chan, a man who mutilated his body with a
Oh, my
box
God.
cutter because 4chan said he was a girl, holds a deep hatred for men and most women, decided to be
no.
a girl so that he could hook up with lesbians, and now abused his mom. She is disrespectful to and delegitimizes trans people. Like he.
Dude, he's actually the meme. He's literally the meme. This guy's such a lol cow. Holy fuck. You guys know the meme, right? Oh my god. Bro. It's literally the meme. The guy's literally doing the fucking meme. Oh, did you hear about Chris Chan? He, actually, the pronoun is she. Right, anyway, so she raped her mother. Person literally goes around saying they transitioned so they can get a girlfriend. Oh, and we can't be, no critical. You're not allowed to be critical of that. Good God. This is why there's no self-policing. This fucking person raped their mother, and this guy is using it as a talking point against somebody else. It's crazy.
Very publicly straight
You could literally commit fucking armed robbery. Well, I mean, that's an, yeah, I don't know. You could steal, you could fucking rape your mother. There's a pass for you in this community with these bread tubers.
married Christian cis man somehow is the authority on what legitimizes a trans person's
It's team
identity.
sports.
He has
Yeah,
tried to
it's
cover
gross.
this up and has denied that it happened, but I think there's enough evidence to say that it most likely did. One
Like, they have to hand us free wins. I don't know, it's like they spot us points in the beginning of every drama. Dude, there's something so fun about driving through these walls, dude. It's like the most fun thing they added in Fortnite, is just not playing the game and just driving through walls. Oh, you can't even see it. Barnacles.
user said at one point, he's been constantly misgendering her on Twitter despite being corrected numerous times.
Who is that? Who is that person? I looked away for 1 second. Who the fuck is Jolene the dinosaur?
Which Wendigoon said, show me one time I misgendered her on
Isn't this
Twitter.
Nicholas DeOrio
Actually,
guy, like,
please
one of
don't
those
watch my
fucking
content if
crypto
you're going through my
fascist,
replies
dudes,
and
dude?
monitoring followers, who may just be unaware of Chris Chan's entire lore. Perhaps people just not knowing something doesn't
Have you ever heard anyone refer to Chris Chan as Christine? Like, unironically? Like, ever? Does anyone take that seriously? There's no gatekeeping at all. Like, oh, you raped your mother? That's a little inconveniencing, but you're in. You will now be defended for the end of time. Anything you do will be defended. It's crazy.
Mean that they're a transphobe. But if we go back and look at old screenshots from this time, you can see that this account is quote tweeting Wendigoon's transphobic tweet, but if you go to that account today, that post is now quote tweeting a deleted tweet, which to me shows that more than likely Wendigoon went mask off with his transphobia. And
What? I don't have the screenshot, so I'm just gonna say what would be the best thing for my script right now. This is some King of Nothing style fucking content, bro. Holy shit, dude. Did King of Nothing help you write this? Oh my god, that's egregious.
then deleted the tweet sometime afterwards, when he realized that people would be mad about it. But there's a very small chance that this is not true because
there's a very small chance that my fucking wet dream didn't happen.
I did not take the original screenshot.
Because I didn't take the screenshot. I didn't even see it, dude.
We could talk about the time that Nick Spheres did a
video.
video.
Oh, let's just change the subject, because that was a horror. How does that make it into your script? Who pre-watched that and said it was a good video? Holy shit, dude.
About the disturbing movie Iceberg, who is a great horror trans creator, and I really hope that she's not mad at me for mentioning her here.
If you think she's a great creator, why did you call her a whore? That's kind of fucked up.
Because I think she's very cool, and you should definitely go read her books. But Wendigoon famous...
do not read a YouTuber book, ever. I don't care if they're fucking... I don't care if they're trans, fucking non-binary, fucking cisgender. No YouTube book is good, ever.
Did a very popular video on that particular iceberg challenge as well. And in the comments of her video, he said, "We will be watching your career with great interest." Which is just kinda gross, because in a way it is similar to him following me. It is him telling her that he sees that she's doing similar content to him.
This guy's whole life is arbitrating follows. You followed this creator, you follow that creator, but then you followed me. That's where you fucked up, buddy. When you followed me on Twitter, that's when I knew it was over for you. Oh,
and his presence in the comments is undercutting her video, while he also at the same time
undercutting her video by being present.
Seemingly makes it look like he supports trans people. Like in the responses to his comment, people are
he supported a trans person, which was obviously just a shield to pretend that he
saying things like, Wendigoon says trans rights, while meanwhile he's simultaneously tweeting.
I like how the topic is like, if you're edgy or you're friends with somebody edgy, you're considered alt-right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. None of these people are. The thing is, you're considered alt-right by retards that don't matter in any, like, in any faction of reality. Like, I don't know, dude. I wouldn't really mind these people lying about me publicly. It wouldn't really be a huge bane on my existence. If this guy could get views, he wouldn't be complaining about how little money he's earned. This is the most famous he's ever been.
About Christian multiple times. We could talk about another time where someone made a YouTuber gay sex alignment chart and put What
the fuck? What the fuck?
Wendigoon as a sub-bottom.
What? Why did you say that in that voice? Dude, this guy is like, bro, everyone's calling me the F-slur on Twitter. I have no idea why! To which he responded to them and said, "What did I do to hurt you?" Which, you know, clearly is a joke, but also the worst kinds of straight guys when they make jokes related to queerness, almost exclusively direct the punchline at femme gays and bottoms. This is radicalizing me. I never had these thoughts, but I want to be much more aggressive in my speech in this video. It's like actually fucking crazy, dude. I'm gonna be in the alt-right by the end of this video. This guy's gonna send me there. I honestly think that, like, if you had just people like this and not like Nick Fuentes and stuff like that, I think that the alt-right would continue just by this person's content being as bad as it is.
Because they view them as lesser than masculine tops. He has multiple times,
like, it's not like, oh, Nick's gonna go mask off. This guy's putting the mask on me, strapping it down and being like, oh.
said that he supports queer people, but I think his actions.
Oh, the Wendigoon said he supported queer people, which was obviously a lie, because I need it to be for my narrative.
In private, clearly paint a different picture.
His friends in private.
He once tweeted, saying, "I do not care if someone is gay or straight. Sexuality is no one's business but the individual. Don't make assumptions. I make an effort to stay away from politics and social issues."
Okay.
Which, you know, first off, equating sexuality with politics kind of already shows what you kind of...
Oh my god, you can't say anything. This is why you can't. Honestly, this is why Chud Logic gets mad at me about the Brianna Wu stuff. You can't give these people anything. If you give these people literally an inch, they'll take a mile, and they'll use that to. It's a. I don't know. Actually, this is also part of my argument, though. If you don't ever stand down or accept someone's apology, you look like this guy. You look like a crazy fucking deranged schizophrenic on YouTube. I will address the thing that you told me to address. Aha! He finally addressed it, see? Well, and then you just break that one down too. Like, this guy doesn't want Wendigoon to be tolerant of gay people. He wants him to be transphobic because that would fit better with the video he's creating. This guy has his responses lined up already prior to doing the research. He's just going out of his way to try to figure out how to paint
guy
it
like one of those
as in the most damning way possible, and he made the
dudes,
mistake this time.
Think of the issue. And second off, clearly, as we have seen, everything that he does has deep political motivations, and to argue that he's just a horror YouTuber is comical.
Isn't this
Far-right
Nicholas DeOrio
figures
guy,
are
like, one
often
of
the
those
only
fucking
one
crypto-fascist dudes too?
who hide their harm under a false shield of wanting to seem like they have no strong beliefs at all, because their real views are so socially abhorrent. And the thing that people kept saying to me in all of this was, why do you even care? Which, if you watch the comments under the video, I guarantee you will happen again, with takes like, oh, he's just a YouTuber. Why does it matter? Or, so what if he's a conservative? Is that a problem?
Yes! That's a great point, yes!
Which, the answer to that is yes. But the reason that
oh god, we need to create a new slur.
I care is because
I need a new slur that I can use for you.
this does not belong in horror.
Can we get a slur that means like bisexual lighting fucking bread tuber or whatever, and it's got to sound funny. It's got to roll off the tongue.
Or anywhere.
Like
I care
invent a new
deeply
word.
about horror and everything.
Because I want to call other people things that offend them, but then I want it to be like, you're the worst thing I could possibly think of, and that's why I'm calling other people that word. Like, this is the line.
He does has demonstrated so far in his career that he should not be welcomed in our spaces. Or even
It's like if I go up to somebody, I'm like, you're a Noah Samson, and they're like, how fucking dare you call me that? That's what I think when I talk to you.
You know, just in public and general. I think that these things clearly showcase a repeated pattern, in my opinion, of racism and homophobia, while on top of that, being very irresponsible and dangerous with his large platform. Like, I think that anyone who supposedly accidentally starts a neo-Nazi hate group and fully acknowledges that they did that should not be accepted within society at all. They should not be...
There it is! There it is!
I really like
he would kill them given the opportunity. I told you. Should not be accepted in society at all. Should be killed. There it is. 100%. Right there. Mask slip moment.
Celebrated. They should be treated for what they are. Because remember, kids, when somebody shows you who they are...
If somebody shows you who they are, believe them. This guy would line us up against a wall and kill us or put us in a fucking work camp if he was in power. 100%.
Isn't this Nicholas DeOrio guy like one of those fucking crypto
Oh man.
dudes too?
Alright, well, if people tell you who they are, believe them.